Hello everyone, Empire Baron here. This is the finals for the RTS-Sanctuary.com tournament. This is the third game. I apologize, I had a little bit of technical difficulties and I wasn't able to get the first two games from Orktastic's perspective, but WooD has them up, so if you haven't checked them out yet, get over to the channel and hit them up first. But these two players, Orktastic in the purple and Braidon in the red, we will be following the purple of Orktastic. He is starting out with an early dock. It seems to be a very strong strategy. I heard a little bit of talk about how Braidon and his lost clanmates had found the ideal build and probably what is the best build for this game. And both of these players are from Lost, so we will no doubt see an excellent game. The first two games were really amazing games. It just really showcased this game and how it's supposed to be played. Thank you everyone for coming to our live cast. A bunch of people showed up and we really appreciate your support. Thanks for bearing with us through the little technical difficulties we were having. I promise you through the next month and a half while this game is down, I am really going to master how to use that live broadcast program and hopefully we'll get observer mode then and it'll be a really great cast that we can do for everyone. All right, so we're seeing two stables go up for Orktastic. So he is going to opt for that fast Sari rush. And we're going to see how that works out for him and how Braidon decides to counter that. Like I said before, we see that dock. That has been a very important part in that second game. The dock was the key for that whole game. Orktastic lost solely because he lost control of his navy, and we are going to see how he protects it this time. There's a little bit more water here. There's 3 ponds so far in the middle that we've seen, and we see 2 fishing boats already for Orktastic. So let's see how we progress from there. All right, so we got stables so far we see for Braidon. So let's see how quickly he moves these Saris down. We have 5 Saris so far, and we have 3 villagers getting berries, and we got those 2 fishing boats in the middle, and we see 3 Saris already are going to come and rush this scout here and maybe take out the scout, and the 8 Saris for Orktastic are on the way. Yeah, they took out that scout and now they're working on that watchtower. These 8 and now 10 Saris will be on their way down to try to deal with this 4 Saris. We have 2 hypas coming in for Braidon, so let's see if Braidon is forced to pull away here or if he can reinforce this, and we might see a little engagement. 6 Saris and 2 hypas, so we still Braidon does not see those Saris coming in for Ork, and there he goes. So now we're going to get a little engagement, but both sides are going to run away from each other here. Orktastic did have him outnumbered, but at the same time really has no reason to go and attack and put any pressure on at this point. So we see 3 fishing boats now for Orktastic. No pressure, it looks like, on that those fishing boats. So Braidon probably has his dock set somewhere else. Maybe there is a water source south of him, because I don't see any docks yet for Braidon, but I'm sure he has them. And we see an archery range and another archery range. So 2 archery ranges are on there. One of them is built, one of them is almost built, so we're going to see some archers thrown into this. Another archery range, I believe that is, yes, another archery range. So 3 archery ranges and 3 stables. So that is a direct counter to those hypas that he saw. Now he's going to go and those archers are going to get that 100% bonus to the infantry units, and let's see, he's putting an ambush together here. He sees the watchtower is not there yet. There's no watchtowers in the western side of Braidon's base. So let's see if he can get a rush on here. And there's a villager for Braidon, so Braidon knows it's coming. And let's see how Braidon reacts if Ork can get in here. There's a little engagement going on. Braidon pushed, so he might not have anything to defend against this. And these Series are having some free reign, but there is a line of hypas coming in to block the Series that on ambush, and we are going to see the Series forced to flee and see if they can find a better spot. A lot of Series and archers in the south side of Orc's base here, and that was why Braidon was forced to run back to his base, because he only had Series, and I believe a couple hypas might have been thrown in there, and we know it's not good if you see archers and there's no archers in your army, and he saw those archers of Orc. He knew that he would be slaughtered, so he ran away. That archery range, though, did get destroyed by that little ambush that I missed there, and he's rebuilding that one and the northern one a little bit north of it. So we're seeing now an armory go up, so he's going to get a couple upgrades going. And from there, now we're at a little bit of a stalemate. It looks like Braidon is trying to take out some of this line of sight. Maybe he's going to move into that pond there, or he's just trying to force Orc to go down and put a little defense on. And Orc is going to send another unit, group of units around, and maybe to help reinforce this one unit who is now these one units are ambushing now that market, and he's moving a significant size force down this map, and maybe put a little bit of pressure on. He's going to send some Series out in front, and we haven't seen any other attacks from Braidon. So Braidon is content to sit back and defend. He's got double armories, a bunch of barracks going up in stables, a real dense build here. We're seeing this engagement. Orktastic has just gambited away these Series and is just content with now moving his force down, and some more Series are coming in a little bit too late to help those ones out that got slaughtered, and these hypas are now going to make easy work and scare those away. But more forces are coming in, and they have forces to retreat too, so we're going to see another engagement here. Those two Series for Braidon are going to run to their death, but they're going to get a full view of this force, and they are going to know now what he is up against. And here comes two more Series, and the hypas are going to try on a flanking mission, but they are now going to engage these Series, and these archers for Orc need to move south and engage these hypas. And here they go now. They are engaging, and those hypas for Braidon are retreating quite a bit. And now there's a full engagement between Series and hypas, and those Series for Braidon are getting slaughtered coming around the top, but they did wipe out most of those archers, which was their goal. Now they have pinned together Orktastic and a sandwich. Orktastic is now slaughtered here, and he has been completely sandwiched. Nice micro by Braidon to defend there. And now we go back and we see Peltis coming in for Orktastic, and those have a very high defense, and some Padromos coming in. So the third age now for Orktastic. And he is just rebuilding his forces. He sent that force in. He's kind of waiting now for what is going to be a counterattack. We see some hoplites coming in now. So hoplites and Peltis and Padromos for Orktastic, who is going to be moving into this mid-game in the third age. And let's see how this game progresses from there. All right, so we're just kind of at a stalemate now. And now we get Orktastic is moving these troops down a little bit, and he sees no counterattack for Braidon, which is kind of a strange move. Braidon is content to just sit back and let Orktastic rebuild his troops here, and he did macro those troops out very quickly, because, oh my goodness, that is already a rather large size force rebuilt from absolutely nothing. It just shows how important it is to build up. Look at all the military buildings he has built up. He's sitting back a nice little defense here in case Braidon does decide to counterattack. Braidon had a large amount of hypas, but in this situation, those hypas really aren't going to do much because there's no infantry on the field for Orc, and maybe that is why that Braidon isn't attacking. He knows he went too many hypas, and those hypas are really good against infantry, but when there's no infantry on the field and there's a lot of archers, it is just game over. Orktastic spots a little ambush going on here, and now he's going to hold up and be in perfect position to intercept this. He knows that Braidon is trying to come around and maybe do a number to his caravans. The timing was right, and he sees him. He gets the tail end. He's going to pin him up in between these trees here, and Braidon is going to be forced to pull back because the full force of Orktastic's army here is coming in, chasing him away. And now Braidon will get away with most of his forces. He's going to lose maybe one or two, but he completely thwarted that ambush attempt by Braidon. And now we see this force for Orktastic just kind of coming around and cleaning up the LOS of Braidon here and trying to maybe keep him kind of cornered and keep map control in this game. Very strange play by Braidon. We haven't seen too many attacks from him. We saw one attack early with the Ceres, and since then he's kind of pulled back. And we saw that ambush there was thwarted, but no full-fledged attack by Braidon. Braidon is not willing to sacrifice his units, and we see Orc has left his units there to just kind of get gambited away, and then he went back and macroed out his units, and now he's just keeping his economy steady. It's important to note that very soon after this food resource runs out in the docks, they'll be able to move to farms and to gold, and they have an infinite supply of resources. And we're seeing a little engagement here. Orc was trying to ambush this and is now getting sandwiched in between what is a huge force by Braidon. We get a bunch of Padromos in there and a bunch of infantry units, and right now I think Braidon has the numbers advantage, but at the same time his unit composition really isn't as good as Orc. Orc seems to have countered these units very well. And we are seeing soon there should be an engagement here. And Braidon, I'm sure, wants to try to keep it in his base. And that's why he's not attacking, because he knows that those hypas are going to be very vulnerable. There's only a couple hoplites on the field for Orktastic. And hoplites, I would say, are pretty equal to hypas at this point. And we're seeing an ambush here by Braidon against Orktastic's force here. And here we go. The full force of Braidon is coming around and sweeping through here and trying to just pick off this force. But look at those Peltas. Those Peltas are so strong and have so much defense. They are holding their own. Those Ceres are just like meat shields for these Peltas. And the Ceres for Braidon are trying to sweep around but are getting pinned in by wonderful micro by Orktastic. And now they're breaking through the lines a little bit here. We're seeing still a very equal fight, but I think Orktastic is going to be able to hold off this attack here, and he is. Now those Peltas are going to make easy work of the last archers, and now we are at a stalemate. Those Peltas prove to just be so strong. I mean, I am just, though they say good against other archers, and they have a very strong defense against arrows, and they've also seem to have a pretty good defense against infantry units and just all-around strong unit at this stage of the game. All right, so we see there's Braidon with taking that water, and he's picking off some units here that are got their rally point set up. No, we see the Peltas are trying to take out these boats, and they do a very good number against them. And that will get Braidon out of this pond here. And as I said before, those fishing boats are so key. So that's a good move to keep an eye on that. And there goes the farms, and you see that just huge train of caravans. And look at more. Now we have a very strong Peltas based army for Braidon. And so Braidon also is with Peltas, and Peltas versus Peltas, but there seems to be quite a bit more Peltas of Braidon. And let's see where that force ends up of Braidon now. We see the scores there are still very even. And a couple of Peltas just sitting there. And we see these Peltas for Orktastic are going to move in and try to do a number here. Just do a little ambush and a couple different attacks going on. We see some Padromos came in for Braidon. And we will see those be chased away by Hippicans. So the first sight of Hippicans from Orktastic here. So that means he is at the 4th age now. And we see these Hippocans, or now we're seeing these Peltas just sitting around. Thank you all for watching part 1, and please don't forget to watch part 2. This is a really epic game, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.